Hey YouTube, this is one and only Damian Moody, also known as Casher Master or Red Riding Hood, and I'm back again with another live video. I just wanted to do something quickly because I was just scrolling through Facebook and something popped up that I'm pretty sure most may know about, most may not know about, but I just wanted to bring this to the attention of my YouTube channel, viewers, subscribers, whoever decide to watch my videos because I know people watch it. I know they do. Even if they don't comment or like or whatever the case may be, I know some people still be watching my shit. So, anywho, I just wanted to screen share this real quick. Before I do so, I do not own the copyrights to anything. I'm just using this to share this story. Um, Johnnie made Chappell, age 35. A black woman who went to buy ice cream for her 10 children. Jacksonville, Florida, March 23rd, 1964. This is fucked up because at the end of the day, majority of my family are from Florida, so I can only imagine if a lot of them know about this story, heard about this story. I'm pretty sure I got family in Jacksonville, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Miami. Pretty much probably got family all over. I've never been to Florida, so like I said, I can only imagine if any of my family members know about this story. But once again, her name was Johnnie Mae Chappell or Chappell. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say Chappell. Johnnie Mae Chappell, age 35, a black woman who went to buy ice cream for her 10 children. Jacksonville, Florida, March 23rd, 1964. And March 23rd was a few days ago. Come on. Why isn't it going down? Did I do something wrong? I'm sorry, I don't know why it's going down. Why isn't it going down? Is something wrong with this website? I don't know why isn't it going. Why isn't it letting me read more? Hold on, y'all. Cause I don't know what's going on. I guess I'll just read this until I figure out how to work this website because it is not allowing me to do anything more other than just look at this. So I guess I'll screen share the Wikipedia. Johnnie Mae Chappell, 1929 on March 23rd, 1964, was an American murder victim during the race riots in Jacksonville, Florida, killed by a gunshot from a passing car. After evidence and documents went missing, her killer was charged with manslaughter, only serving 3 years in prison, and the other passengers were never charged. Detectives working the investigation claimed they lost their job due to their complaints regarding police racism and how the case was handled. Johnnie Mae Chappell was a mother of 10 who worked as a cleaner. Her husband was named Willie and worked two jobs. During race massacre in Jacksonville, Florida, on the evening of March 23rd, 1964, Chappell, then 35, was walking along U.S. Route 1 northwest of the city looking for her wallet, which had fallen from her bag while carrying groceries home. As she walked, four men drove past in the blue Plymouth, Plymouth. How you pronounce that? I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I don't know cars like that. One of whom fired a gunshot which hit Chappell. After being found by her husband, who had left the house to look for her, Chappell was being transported to a hospital in an ambulance when she died. As word of Chappell's killing spread, riots escalated in the city. The case of Chappell's death went unsolved for months until two sheriff detectives, Lee Cody and Donald Coleman Sr., interrogated a young local called Wayne Chessman about the murder. Chessman confessed to being in the car with three other men, giving their names and details of the evening. Chessman stated that the man named J.W. Rich was the one to fire the gun. He and the other passengers were subsequently arrested by Cody and Coleman, who say they then confessed to shooting Chappell. When they went to read the paperwork regarding Chappell's death, however, they found that it was missing. They later found under the mat in the office of their boss, Detective Chief James Patrick Sr., along with about 30 other reports involving cases which Patrick Sr. wanted dropped. The four men went to trial, but the gun used in the shooting went missing, and detectives were not asked to testify about the confessions. As a result, the jury convict Rich, who claimed that he didn't intend to kill Chappell, of manslaughter, and the charges were dropped against the other men. Rich served 3 years of a 10-year sentence, and Cody and Coleman were demoted and later fired by Detective Chief James C. Patrick Sr. after complaining about racism and corruption in the department. On the 32nd anniversary of Chappell's murder, one of her sons, Shelton, organized a memorial church service for their family. Having seen an article about the planned service in the local newspaper, Cody attended and told the family the details of Chappell's murder and his investigation. In 2005, Cody and Shelton filed a civil rights lawsuit against the city of Jacksonville and the men in the car. The suit was dismissed, but Jed Bush asked the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to reopen the murder investigation. Now, this is about James Patrick Sr. On December 14, 1969, 47-year-old James Patrick Sr., he was born June 19th, 1922, and died December 14th, 1969, was fatally shot by his son, James Patrick Jr., after beating his wife in a drunken rage. Both Patrick Jr., hold on. Both Patrick Jr. and his mother later said the elder Patrick was a heavy drinker who abused them for years and had fired a gun at them on at least one occasion. Patrick Jr. had repeatedly struck his father in self-defense in the past. In the last instance prior to the shooting, Patrick Sr. warned his son that if he ever fought back again, he'd kill him. Patrick Jr. was arrested and charged with murder. After the coroner's jury split on whether Patrick Jr. should face prosecution, he was allowed to plead guilty to manslaughter and received a 5-year suspended sentence. Despite the circumstance of his death, Patrick Jr., who worked as a police officer in 1950, enjoyed a relatively positive posthumous reputation for years. However, in the 1980s, it was found that Patrick Jr. was extremely corrupt, took his teenage son to Ku Klux Klan rallies, and had abused detainees. 2 months prior to his death, his son was among those arrested in a narcotics raid. However, Patrick Jr. was only booked on charges of vagrancy. Please forgive me if I'm pronounced. Was it vagrancy? Please forgive me if I'm pronouncing anything wrong, which were later dropped. Patrick had broken the ribs of suspects on several occasions, and one instance beating a man unconscious. On August 1982, Donald Coleman testified that Sheriff D- Dale Carson and James Patrick Sr. took bribes to cover up murder investigations. On February 24, 1960, Beverly June Cochran, a 19-year-old housewife, vanished. In the fall of 1962, Florida police took prime suspect Emmett Spencer from prison to a hotel for interrogation. Spencer, a Kentucky drifter and serial killer who served nearly 10 years in prison for manslaughter, had been called the Dream Killer by newspapers since he claimed to know details of various murders since he dreamed he dreamt them. Carson and Patrick had previously interrogated Spencer in Miami, where Patrick beat him unconscious and broke 2 of his ribs. Spencer had bragged of committing dozens of murders. In Liberia, he was later deemed to be a pathological liar. Spencer will only be convicted of one murder, that of Johnnie Keene, whom he beat to death with a hammer on April 15, 1960. Spencer was convicted of first-degree murder in that case and sentenced to death. In Liberia, his sentence was later reduced to life in prison. He died in prison in 1996. Spencer was strongly implicated in 3 other murders: that of Beverly Cochran, Dr. John Hunt, who was slain in the Idaho desert in 1959, and Virginia Tomlinson and Leon Shorty Hamill, both of whom he met during the road trip. While stopping at the gas station, Mary Catherine Hampton, Spencer's girlfriend, overheard Spencer and Shorty talking about killing a woman. Shortly after, Spencer pulled the car over in an isolated area, took Tomlinson into the woods, and killed her. He later did the same to Shorty. Spencer stopped at Florida in April 1960, where he rented an apartment. However, he fled only 3 days later after killing Johnnie Keene. Spencer was finally arrested after police chase after being seen speeding. While in custody, Spencer said he didn't kill Beverly June Cochran, but he knew who did. His friend uh, Clarence McCormick. Clarence was the son of beach construction owner B.B. McCormick. Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. What was I reading? Clarence was the son of beach construction owner B.B. McCormick, a friend of James Patrick, excuse me, Sr., and had stalked Cochran prior to her death and once broke into her house. He had repeatedly been arrested in the past, but was always released due to intervention of his father. According to Spencer, he abducted Cochran from her new home and brought her to an apartment complex at the beach. There, Clarence broke her arms with a tire iron and then beat her to death. Spencer's account of the crime appeared to become increasingly credible, and his landlady recalled finding a blood-soaked mattress in an empty apartment next to his, which she never reported. Patrick Sr. suppressed evidence in the case and later announced that information developed in recent weeks indicated that Cochran was still alive and had left home of her own accord. Clarence McCormick later became a career bank robber. In 1965, he was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison for bank robbery. He paroled in the 1970s. McCormick continued to live a criminal life. Elaborate, uh, uh, what the fuck? Aubrey, what the fuck? I'm over here reading stuff wrong. Anyway, uh, he uh, he often received leniency in exchange for helping authorities. On January 20, 1980, McCormick, 54, was fatally shot by a accomplice in a robbery at a motel in Georgia. Patrick Sr., who took bribes in the case of the July 9, 29, 1964 murder of Glenn Monroe, a banker's son who was shot twice in the back and dumped on a desert beach across ramp. Wealthy Atlantic Beach social and shopping mall developer Bobby Jacobs became the prime suspect in the murder. However, the investigation was later ended after Jacobs paid a bribe to Patrick Sr. in March 1974 for a man named Raymond Buchesine tried to abduct Jacobs from his home. He then shot Jacobs and killed a security guard before committing suicide. Jacobs was quickly injured but survived. In 1965, Patrick Sr. was placed on leave for evidence tampering. His wife later testified that afterwards, his drinking became even more worse, ultimately culminating in his death. Okay, so that is two different stories, and that's two different stories. So I'm trying to figure out what does James Patrick Sr. Oh, okay. Because I was wondering what did James Patrick Sr. have to do with this, but now I see. So that's the story of the murder of Johnnie Mae Chappell. I don't know why this other link ain't letting me go further. Because it says read more, but then when I try, it's not letting me do anything else. So I don't know what the hell is going on. Hold on. What is this? Did I do something wrong?
More than 100 cases were initially reopened under the Act, but in less than 2 years, more than half of them were closed again. One of these cases was the killing of Roman Ducksworth Jr. Say his name to begin his story.
Hold Roman Duckworth Jr. Scroll. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Scroll to continue. This ain't working. Scroll. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. YouTube, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do.
More than 100 cases were initially reopened under the Till, but in less than 2 years, more than half of them were closed again. One of these cases was the killing of Roman Ducksworth Jr. Say his name to begin his story.
Roman Duckworth Jr. See, no, it ain't doing nothing. What am I supposed to do? This is getting on my nerves. Okay. Jimmy Lee Jackson's case is the only prosecution since the passage of the bill. What was the FBI's role?
In the decades since the passage of the Till Act, there have been no new charges brought in any of the cases. The sole prosecution began before the Till Act and was led by a district attorney in Alabama. This is the case of Jimmy Lee Jackson. Say his name to begin his story.
Jimmy Lee Jackson. Now it's saying scroll to continue. Weird. How? The fuck? How am I supposed to scroll? I don't know how am I supposed to scroll. Scroll where? I don't know. I don't know. Because it keeps saying scroll to continue. Scroll where? Scroll where and scroll what? Where am I scrolling? I'm sorry, you two. Hold on. Where am I scrolling? YouTube is not letting me. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Because it keeps saying scroll to continue. I don't know. What am I supposed to be scrolling? This is irritating. What am I supposed to be scrolling? I'm pressing my arrows. That's not working. Oop. I don't know. It says scroll to continue, but scroll where? I don't know what in the hell they want me to do. I really don't know. Scroll where? It just says scroll to continue, but where? Something. I don't know. It ain't working. Alright, YouTube. 'Cause I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. It ain't working. It says scroll to continue, but I don't know where to scroll. If somebody's stuck on my YouTube channel, if they keep popping in and then leaving and popping in and leaving. Alexa, Siri, Google. Hey, oh, I don't know. It like how it says like a microphone pops up when it say his name, but then it ain't telling me anything further than that. So I don't know. I'll get back at y'all YouTube.